Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Going to read through the full article here. There's a link in the description. Going to give you a trigger warning. The whole topic is very, very grim. These two scumbags that you see in front of you are the parents of a 5-month-old girl that was starved to death. That's what the medical examiners have confirmed. She was starved to death. There's another toddler involved. An older child, 19 months old. We'll read through the details to make sure I get everything absolutely correct. But an older child was also suffering severe neglect. A 19-month-old reportedly underwent a medical examination and was removed from the parents. The toddler had become infested with lice, covered in feces, and had severe diaper rash. But of course, perhaps more importantly, they literally starved their 5-month-old daughter to death. So these are the two scumbags. The guy is called Dakota Miller. He's the father, and this is the mother, Kendra Beck. This happened in Mississippi. I'll give you some good news. Mississippi has the death penalty. Capital murder is punishable by up to life without parole or the death penalty. So look, Mississippi, just a quick message to you guys. We're going to go for the death penalty, please. We're going to go for the death penalty for both of these absolute scumbags. We'll bear in mind that the trial hasn't taken place as yet. However, in my speculation, my feeling is that the investigators, everyone concerned, the investigators, the CPS, the medical examiners, everyone concerned is smart enough and has access to the evidence such that they know who was the cause of this 5-month-old's death. She died of starvation. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that's at the hands of the parents, the guardians, who are these two scumbags here. So we'll look through the details closely at this point. A mother and father in Mississippi now face a capital case for intentionally starving their infant daughter to death. Kendra Michaela Beck, this scumbag who's 20 years of age, and this scumbag Dakota Jordan Miller, 23 years of age, were taken into custody after a grand jury returned indictments against the couple on multiple felonies, including 1 count each of capital murder in the commission of felony child abuse for the October 2021 death of their daughter, 5-month-old Carrie Beck. In addition to capital murder, the both of them are charged with 1 count each of felonious child abuse and child neglect via deprivation of necessary clothing, shelter, healthcare, or supervision. The latter charge stems from the alleged abuse inflicted on Carrie's elder sibling, a 19-month-old toddler. The defendants appeared before the judge at the Pearl River County Courthouse for their arraignments on Tuesday, where they were both ordered to be held without bond pending further proceedings. So I'm going to applaud Mississippi on that point too. Well done, Mississippi. You should not be letting these guys go. And I make that point there because I'm reading through these articles, these true crime articles. A lot of the situations are in the United States, but we look at cases from England and Australia and elsewhere, and too often there is bond. There is one shocking case. I'll put a link in the in this video somewhere. There's a shocking case of a 7-week-old child that was killed by the parents. I mean, I won't go through the full details now. It's absolutely horrific. And initially, the parents were given a $20,000 bond. $20,000 bond for killing their 7-week-old child. If my memory serves me correctly, the actual injuries suffered occurred throughout the child's life. From, within the first week or two, it was suffering horrendous abuse, physical and sexual. This newborn baby on this other case that I'm referring to. Hopefully I haven't confused things there. But yeah, in that case, they had a $20,000 bond initially. It was increased, I think, to 200 or 250,000. But even so, very, very, ridiculously low. So I do applaud Mississippi to be holding both of these scumbags with no bond. That's the right thing to do. Keep them there until they get executed. That's how I would do it. Prosecutors claim that the mother and the father intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly starved 5-month-old Carey Beck of the nourishments needed to sustain life or growth. So, in essence, prosecutors claim that the parents starved 5-month-old Carey, their daughter. The charges against the couple stem from an investigation that began last fall. Officers and emergency medical personnel responded to a 911 call on October the 6th, 2021. The call was about an unresponsive child. The child's parents reportedly told the emergency dispatcher that the baby would not eat. Upon arriving at the home, first responders reportedly found that the infant wasn't breathing. Emergency responders reportedly transported the baby to the local hospital. Unfortunately, the child was shortly thereafter pronounced dead. Emergency responders also reportedly found a second toddler in the home. The 19-month-old child, the elder sibling of Kyrie, and the 19-month child reportedly underwent a medical examination and was, I believe, immediately removed from the care of these two scumbag parents and placed in the custody of Child Protective Services. The alleged abuse of the 19-month-old child caused the toddler to become infested with lice, covered in feces, and have severe diaper rash. Prosecutors claimed that the treatment resulted in substantial harm to the child's physical, mental, or emotional health of the 19-month-old. Following the infant's death, the 5-month-old Carey, the two scumbag parents were reportedly both arrested and initially charged with felony child neglect. The mother remained in custody, remained in detention. The father, for some weird reason, and I'll give Mississippi a rap on the knuckles for this one, the father was released after posting a bond. However, he was arrested again when the grand jury returned an indictment against him for capital murder. So Mississippi did the wrong thing temporarily by releasing the father. Why would they do that? It makes no sense to me. But thankfully that was rectified, and again, they're both being detained with no opportunity for bail at this point. Medical examiner's report played a critical role in the jury's decision to indict the couple in the child's death. Here's a quote which comes from the medical examiner's report. The biggest piece of evidence presented to the grand jury is that the medical examiner's report determined the child's cause of death to be due to starvation. So personally, I have a lot of faith in these doctors, the medical examiners. I have a lot of faith in their abilities, and I would have no doubt that that's 100% correct, that the child died due to starvation. And given that the child did have guardians, these two scumbag parents, I would presume, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but from my layman's position, I would presume that that's going to almost certainly guarantee that these two scumbag parents are found guilty. That would be my speculation. Could be entirely wrong, but I would go with the medical examiner's tragic, albeit simple, determination that the 5-month-old daughter, Carey, died due to starvation. The article wraps up by letting us know that the Mississippi Code says that capital murder is punishable by up to life without parole or the death penalty. So personally, as I said, we've already booked in the death penalty. Thanks, Mississippi. Please just go ahead with that. Death penalty, nice and simple. They caused their 5-month-old child to die of starvation. Of starvation. They starved their child to death. Yeah, we don't do that in civilized society, do we? We don't starve anybody to death. In the midst of war between Ukraine and Russia, society will not tolerate anybody being starved to death. Yeah, it's not going to be tolerated in under any circumstances. These guys, according to the medical examiner's report, starved their 5-month-old child to death. In addition to that, their 19-month-old toddler was also facing seemingly long-term extensive abuse and neglect. Don't lock these guys up. Give them the death penalty. Thank you, Mississippi. I'll wrap things up here. If you do like this type of content, if you see value in covering these topics, in examining these topics, please do give me a little bit of encouragement. I am trying to tackle multiple topics like this. Have a look at some of my other videos. If you go to my most popular section or my playlist or such, have a look at some of the other cases, which are quite shocking. And stick around, and I'll thank you for your time.